Hey, this is Kahja Elliott, Bronx born and raised, ATL made, Bay Area becoming, and this is the As Told By podcast. This is episode 6. I don't know why I just turned that into a song.
6 in the mix.
This is 6. So usually episode 6 is the last episode of a season because initially when I started this, if you were here for season 1, I said it was going to be a 6-episode season, each season. But this is not going to happen this season because there's going to be another episode after this one we're recording today.
But wait,
there's more. So I know that we are getting at least 7, but we could get up to 10.
Okay.
I'm just going to go until I feel like I don't feel like going anymore for this particular season.
Kaj, go until your heart is content.
Till you get the message.
Till you get the message.
The ancestral message that says, bitch, stop.
Until it moves your spirit.
Yes. This is the first episode that is 100% ad hoc. There is no pre-established topic. There are no prepared questions. There are no talking points. And I'm usually a prepared person. I pride myself on coming to conversations ready to play. But today, I ain't got it.
Hey, we're going to make it work, though.
I ain't got it.
Can we back it up, though? So
yes.
What Kaj forgot to say was I'm officially, unofficially, the co-host of As Told By. And so...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Because they don't know who am when you said I'm. So look, let me set it up. Some of y'all might know if you hear locally in the Bay, you just know people like that. But let me tell you who this person is over here. So season 1, if you go all the way back to the beginning, I got so much feedback. This is my most talked about guest. People seem to like him. I guess he's all right.
Yeah, I don't know what I said either.
But people always say, he was really good. And I liked what he had to talk about. He had a great personality and perspective. So for, this season's Shoot the Shit episode, I'm like, please come up here and shoot the shit with me because evidently the listenership of the As Told By podcast likes you.
For sure. And I'm here. I'm back. I'm glad I know the listenership was getting a little nervous about when I was going to make my debut this season. And me and Kaj have been talking, what do you call it, off mic or something like that?
Yes.
Trying to figure it out. But yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
And
this is Aunt Petty, episode 1.
And I am Anthony Petty from episode 1.
Success in Modern Marriage. Remember the very first episode, and he was here with his amazing selling water to the well, real estate extraordinaire, all the things wife, Martinique. Shout out to my good sis.
Hey, babe.
And the whole Petty crew. Petty crew times 3.
Times 3.
Yes. So thanks for coming back up here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm good. Productive morning, was up at 5, doing all the things, content, branding, marketing, talked to my brother. We're getting some classes ran. The gym is doing better. Yeah, things are good. How about you?
I'm stressed as hell.
Stressed out?
I told y'all in the beginning, I didn't even have the time or the wherewithal to properly prepare an episode. This is I won't say the last time. This is the first time this happened to me where I did not have time to, put together a cogent episode. But that's okay. I'm stressed. My bandwidth is spread.
Yeah?
Yes.
Cogent. That was a fancy word. I like that.
I read the dictionary as a child.
Hey, I read part of the dictionary as a child because Malcolm X was reading it.
Oh.
Influential.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stressed. So we're recording. It is 10:30 a.m. on a Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's 10:30 a.m. on a Wednesday. I actually have a day job, though, like with pending remits. I'm giving a whole 1-hour presentation tomorrow. I've prepared the deck, but I don't have any talking points.
So you're going to wing that, too? What we doing?
I'm a Jay-Z it.
Okay, off the top of the dome. One take Jake.
When that happens, I usually rely on my hood skills to create, to break tension in the space.
Absolutely.
And get people relaxed and laughing. But I got work going on. I have the podcast going on. I I am in an entrepreneurial class that is on Wednesday night, so I have class tonight. I'm planning the second K in the Bay curated dining event as we speak. I'm in the back inner workings of that. I'm on baby watch.
You busy, girl.
I'm busy.
You busy, girl.
I'm busy.
Man. I'm not that busy. I'm not. I'm chilling. I'm either at the gym or at the house. That must be good. Tell me a little bit more about Baby Watch. How's that going?
Well, okay, here's another season 1 throwback. So y'all remember back in the last episode of season 1, my good friend, shout out to Kendra Williams, interviewed me, and part of what came up is I was like, yeah, I'm in my season. I'm empty nesting. My daughter's grown. She lives across the country, so I'm over here chilling in my place, me and my cat, whoop-de-whoop, the streets. Mm-hmm. And then, as life will have it, my daughter's like, hello. And she's like, yeah, I'm expecting. I'm like, expecting what? She's like, a baby. And I was like, word?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what you going to do? You staying on the East Coast? She's like, yeah, I'm staying on the East Coast. And then as life will have it again, hello.
Yeah.
Now we all back in the house.
Yeah. Making it work.
We making it work. So I'm empty nesting no longer, at least for now, because I'm about to be somebody's whole ass grandmother.
Yeah. So are you going with the Gigi? Are you going with Sita? You know what I mean?
Sita?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Sita.
Sita, what's the baby gonna call you?
The baby, this was a struggle because for probably the first 5 months I had this information, I was adamant the baby was going to call me Kahja.
Yeah.
And my friends was like, I'll slap shit out of you.
Miss Kahja.
Right, Miss Kahja, can I get a sandwich? So we moved through Kahja to Glamma to Mimi to Kiki to all the things. And I think by like month 8, I was like, just face the facts. You the grandmother.
Grandmother.
You the grandmother. So the baby could call me grandma. I prefer grand, one word, mother, as in M-U-V-A.
That's real, yeah. That's real East Coast.
That's real East Coast.
Yeah. Mother, your fathers, your mothers.
Yes.
You heard?
But, it's all good. I think I am, I had to get to the place to understand, you get to define what that looks like. I get to define
Absolutely
what it looks like to be a grandmother at this time in my life, in this particular situation. And, I had to give up my singlehood in my house for a little while, but it ain't forever.
Nah, you be back. The streets, you know what I mean? They'll be calling again.
Well, I never left the streets. It ain't my baby.
Hey.
Don't get it twisted.
Hey.
I'm still out in the streets. But, when I come home, I just can't, I can't, the decorum is back in session.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Tighten up for a couple months and then we'll get back to it for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And now, as much as y'all know that, I love being in Oakland, I'm now going to have my first family member born right here in the East.
Yeah.
How about it?
Yeah.
So now I'm legit.
Yeah. You was already in.
Oh, I was.
You was already in. Now you got first generation East Oaklandum. You know what I mean?
Well, we're not counting Stevie. He's from Oakland Animal Shelter.
Okay, boom. Yeah, Stevie. So
Don't discount him.
Yeah, my bad. Hey, shout out Stevie. Oh. Stevie the cat.
Yeah.
Big Cat LaFleur.
But
you know what I mean?
So now we will have a baby born in Oakland. We will authentically have Oakland roots. I have moved the family off of the East Coast. No, that's not true. Look, my sister will stab me in my neck if I say that. My sister lived in L.A. for many years, and my nephews, were they born on the... Oh, now I'm thinking. I know she was definitely living in L.A. when she got pregnant, but I don't know if the birth happened in South Carolina or in L.A. But nonetheless, none in the Bay. So I'm populating the family... generationally speaking. I ain't populating shit, but populating the family in the Bay.
There it is.
Yes. I mean, you've had closer proximity to babies and little ones. I ain't been in this game for almost 30 years.
Man.
I forgot everything.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I mean, even then, from my oldest, which is 16, Tootie, who's 3 going on 19, it's a whole different ball game. Like, this generation is different. Like, they way more perceptive. They feel and have emotions for everything, which is cool, but it's just different. I mean, even then, I feel like I'm a different parent from, I came in the game, I was 19, and I'm 36 now, so just even my parenting style is different. I'm not yelling that much anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do, I yell sometimes, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Have you heard of gentle parenting?
Mm-mm.
This is this whole school of thought. I hadn't heard of it either, but apparently it's very popular. This is like this entire school of thought about really centering children's thoughts, emotions, preferences. There's a lot of reasoning involved versus, authoritative.
Reasoning with a 3-year-old?
Yes.
Oh, hell no.
Reasoning,
No.
co-decision making.
With the 3-year-old?
Yes.
Nah.
Allowing people to have agency over their choices
I'm
to
with
some
all the
degree.
agency. I'm with all the agency. You can sit down or you can go to bed. That's agency.
Right, but then it is the explaining of, or this is my perception. I could be wrong. But it's the explaining of the benefits of bed versus sit down, the outcomes of one versus the other, guiding us to a cohabitative.
Oh, hell no, Kahja. No, we not
A coexisting
with the 3-year-olds.
decision.
I'm still old school that way. So we're gonna lay out. We got a couple of options, or you can go to bed. You know what I mean? I'm not explaining. What? Parents explaining themselves now? They got the game all fucked up.
Well, I'm not from that particular school, but it's a new day and a new time, and
Hey, if you gentle parenting, you know what I
Hey.
mean? God bless you. Good on you.
Good on you.
Good on you.
Yes. So that is what is going on with me. So I'm still trying to it's still summer, right? Even though we're staring down September.
That's
But
crazy how quick the summer was.
the summer goes on in the Bay till like October.
October, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've planned some time. Southwest had a good sale recently, so I planned some time to go skedaddle out of here for like 2 days.
Where you going?
Out of here.
Out of here?
Out of here.
Wherever the wind blows you? I like it.
Hey, listen. Everybody needs a break.
Yeah. So when you get there, when you get to said destination,
Yes.
what's the break-in look like?
I have some museum time scheduled.
Oh, nice.
I absolutely have some food time scheduled. Somebody asked me about turning the podcast into a food podcast.
I could see it. I mean, all the spots.
I was like, nobody want to listen to you sit up here and talk about food
Man.
week over week.
Man.
Or
I
maybe
tune in.
or maybe they do.
I tune in.
You tune in.
For sure. Absolutely.
Listen, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's getaway for a quick 2 days. It's essentially a turnaround trip, Tuesday to Thursday. I got some museum time, checking out the food scene. I understand. I was trying to get a hotel, and I was wondering why the rates were sky high on weekdays.
Yeah.
Like I purposely traveled during a period where I thought it shouldn't be sky high. And the hotel rates are sky high, only to find out that preseason football is back in session. And wouldn't you just happen to know there's going to be a football game in that city the days that I'm there? And I'm like, shit. So now I might go to the game because I've never been.
Cool.
I've never been to one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I've done basketball. I went on a first date to a hockey game. This is many years ago.
That's
the
actually,
Atlanta Thrashers, are they still out? Is that still the hockey team?
That's actually pretty player.
By a black man. A
That's
black
pretty
man took me
player,
on a
yeah.
date to a hockey game.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, he was moving mean. He had a whole agenda. You know what I mean? Start off cold. You need to warm up, girl.
Right.
You want my jacket?
Right?
Like,
So, oh, goodness. I might pull up to an NFL game. We'll see.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Overpriced a little bit, but I don't know. It depends on where you're going. My first football game I ever went to was a Raider game. It was a Raider. Jeff Hostetler was the quarterback, and they were playing against the Seattle Seahawks with Ricky Waters running the ball. And we're sitting up in the nosebleed. I don't remember much beyond that. But my second time, this dude, I don't know if he was high or whatever, he got socked in the face by the police. And that I still see to this day. Bro got clocked. It was crazy.
Clocked and cold cocked. I don't know any of those people. I am sports agnostic. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I'm going for the food.
Yeah.
And the environment.
The vibes.
The vibe.
Go for the vibes.
Go for the vibe. But, I'm in the Bay right now for the next couple of weeks while we wait for baby to show up any given time. So if you're anywhere with me in the next few weeks and you see me jump up out of there like FloJo, you know what it is. I have been called. But other than that, just keeping up with what's been going on in the Bay. I see this whole story going on about this restaurant in Napa who apparently they got the right one.
Is that the name of the restaurant? They got the right one?
That would not be in Napa. That would be on East 14th.
Sure. I was going to say, they got the right one in Napa?
That's a business idea. You got the right one. Come get your food. But no, apparently there's this, I personally don't know him. I don't consume a whole lot of jazz music, although I probably, could stand to mix it up a little bit from 90s hip hop and R&B. But
great genre of music, though.
Is his name Jonathan Butler? I think that's his name. And he was at a restaurant, Goose and Gander, in Healdsburg, Calistoga, one of those surrounding, Napa-esque towns. And apparently he was profiled to the degree where when he left the restaurant, they kind of chased him out to ensure that he had tipped.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, so now they're all in the press. People are calling for, this was the restaurant manager apparently that followed him out to ask him about whether or not he had tipped at all or properly or whatever the case may be, which I ain't never seen a restaurant follow you into no streets.
For the tip? Yeah.
For the tip.
In Calistoga?
Well, that would be a raisin in the cream cheese experience, typically.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. So now they all in the mix. They're all on the news. I'm seeing it all over social media. Apparently, they had their manager go out on leave while they bring in an external company to probably, massage that old DEI muscle.
That's crazy. So this man that went out there profiled somebody, and he needs to take a break.
Right. And he got the right somebody or the wrong somebody because it wasn't just, Joe Blow. It was a very popular, renowned jazz musician who was in the area.
Wow, you played yourself.
Playing shows. So you played yourself.
You played yourself. Was it Goose and Gander?
Goose and Gander.
You played yourself.
What's good for that goose is about to be good for that gander.
It might be good for the gander.
I don't know. It's interesting because, nowadays you just never know who you are pulling up on. But, should you have separate ways of being based on who's who? No.
Not at all. I would think that if this was a prominent jazz musician in Napa, the manager should know who's frequenting his establishment. If anything, you're supposed to comp or do some type of stuff like that, not go out there and profile the man.
Right.
So, yeah, you played yourself, big dog.
He played himself. Well, I guess they're going to find out. People are calling for, why is he on leave? Fire him. But that just goes back to this whole ongoing conversation around cancel culture.
Yeah, I don't believe he should be fired. Reprimanded in some way. More than just the cultural competency courses or something like that. But yeah, to get fired for a mistake,
You're not canceling people? Are you a fan of cancel culture?
I'm not. It doesn't work, in my opinion.
It don't?
It doesn't work. Especially in a day and age where attention spans are so short and we're in an attention economy, you get canceled for 2 weeks, everybody forgets about it. It's over. They've moved on.
Oh. Well, I guess that's true. But then it's not a real cancel.
Right. Yeah, I think it's ineffective. If you want to bring awareness to your movement or cause, I'm for that. But we have to find some way. We have to be a little bit more strategic about how we're going to bring awareness to the cause versus being alarmist with things. Big moment, and then the moment fizzles out. using someone else as a scapegoat for the moment. I'm just not a fan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think some people got a good cancel coming to them.
Who got him? Who got a good cancel?
Well, I mean, some people were
Say their
rightfully
names.
canceled. I mean,
Say
I think
their names.
not say their names. I don't know. Like, I guess top of mind, R. Kelly, like that was a warranted, overdue, permanent cancel.
For sure. I mean, but that Huey was talking about that on Boondocks years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like beyond. Yes, Robert, go sit your ass down.
Robert.
For sure, got to go sit your ass down. I guess that one does have some merit.
Some cancellations are warranted. I'm trying to think who else got a cancel that I felt like you had that coming to you.
I'm trying to think. I want to think of somebody who got a cancel. I'm like, I don't feel like they deserve that.
There's some people I would like to see get a cancel, and I feel like they have. Like, I would like to see Irv Gotti get canceled. I really would. Can I start the campaign? Cancel Irv.
Hey, Irv looked nuts out there. He looked nuts. I mean, wow.
I have to tell you, and I'm here recording my podcast. It's not to hate, but we all have our tastes. I don't like that Drink Champs podcast.
Word?
I don't like it. I think. Let me not start espousing. I don't like it. I don't like the energy that I feel like it creates for, I'm thinking as I'm speaking. I don't think I like the energy that it seems to create that gives a green light to men to get up there and talk extra greasy. Like, there's greasy and then there's greasy.
Yeah.
And they get up there and they get greasy, or just like pull things out from years and years and years ago. And I saw the preview for, I think, the next episode coming out, and it's the members of B2K minus Omarion, and I'm like, they're talking about the whole situation with when one of them was dating Omarion's children's mother, and I'm like, y'all, why y'all still hashing this? Yeah. She's moved on. She's dating at a whole different level. And I'm like, y'all are still like, so to me, it's just a space that seems to just thrive on. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I think it makes sense to me. And I agree. I mean, in any space where we are enabling, chauvinistic behavior,
misogynistic clownery,
buffoonery.
I'm gonna give them another chance. I'm gonna listen and give it another chance.
I think though, majority of the people that they bring on the show are from a different era. So it's early 2000s. So they're recalling living in the heyday. But Irv, like, I didn't see the whole thing, but just from what I heard with the whole like talking about Ashanti, I remember Ashanti because, I mean, I was, 16? Maybe 15? She was around our age. For some reason, I feel like Ashanti wasn't 18. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe she was.
I don't know.
It just, I don't know.
Robert.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, bro, you got to be careful with these stories that you're recounting because people start adding up the numbers. I don't know if the numbers make sense. I could be wrong, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how old she was. If he wasn't already married, he certainly was in the marital relationship, right? He's just, I don't know. I just have always found him to be, even back in their heyday, just, like a misogynistic jerk. An ego-driven jerk.
I will say this. If your biggest claim to fame was Ashanti back in 2003, it's quiet out there, my boy.
Crickets.
You gotta move on. That was damn near 20 years ago?
Yes. But I also think, it spawned all these think pieces by Black women writing about the obvious, right? And we understand, but I just have almost felt like, please don't even waste your pen and your ink or your keyboard strokes.
Yeah.
Pay that dust.
Yeah. Nah, Irv, I think we could cancel Irv. I'm fine with that.
There's some cancellations.
I'm cool with that.
Is he putting out, well, he has the show on BET, right? Which I thought was a really creative concept when you create a 30-minute show around songs. Did you? I can't remember the
haven't
name of
yet.
it, but like you take rap songs and then you create like a whole, I don't know if it's 30 minutes or an hour, but you create like a whole, almost like a short film around the theme of the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Focus on your work.
And this was a show that he produced on BT?
Yes, it's currently running. I
Oh,
think I saw it
wow.
just was like in a new season. So I'm like, you got that. The Murder Inc. documentary is out, which is probably what they were there to promote anyway. So I'm just like, focus on what you got. But as bad as Irv, and I'm not, I believe he got a cancellation coming to him, but whatever. He looks like he's his own crown of thorns. But what's worse is Ja Rule sitting next to him silent when she's responsible for like half your bag.
Ja's still trying to recover from Firefest. You know what I'm saying? He can't
Chilligan's
say
Island?
much. Yeah, he.
I know we on air, but y'all both. You're a business owner and you're building a platform.
Uh-huh.
Devil's advocate, say conversation. If it's hard to build traction, awareness, and like visibility,
Mm-hmm.
this nigga's been in every headline for 2.5 weeks now.
Who, Earth? Yeah.
So I'm just asking,
Yes.
in the space where the salacious shit is what cuts through, is there? Can you see why? Like, not to say it's good. Just
I mean, yeah, infamy. All news is good news. You know what I mean? And press and spinning it. And yeah, I mean, we live once again in an age where it's about attention now, of course. But I don't know if all attention is good attention.
Well,
Especially, I'll say this, if it's at the extent of someone else who isn't there to defend themselves.
right.
I get your point, though. I mean, Irv was nowhere on the radar of my radar of my radar of my radar. Nobody's radar prior to. So now that he's on the radar, right? But like, to what end? I'm not downloading nothing. I'm not watching your show. I'm not buying nothing. So you're not getting anything out of it. But conversation, I mean, I guess. I don't know. Does that translate to money?
Apparently, it does in some capacity. Take the Trump thing, for example, the FBI raid. He was able to fundraise like $15 million.
Are you serious?
Off that one headline for his campaign on separate. He don't got to even touch his bread to get the campaign up and rolling for 2024.
Wow.
So
Wait a minute. He's running again? I don't watch the news. I have stopped watching the news,
Yeah.
so this is all news to me.
Donnie trying to get back out there, man.
all I'm saying is, I
shit.
feel us.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the space of moving and cutting through the algorithm, regardless of how moral we want to pretend to be, I
We
get-
like it.
I get a DM with a video of somebody getting killed or ran over every day, give or take. I was like, I don't want to see this.
For sure.
personally. But why is it on the internet? And why do it got 570,000 likes?
For sure.
I don't know. I don't know what drives.
500,000 likes?
I try to. Somebody.
It's just a weird thing. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
No,
yeah.
absolutely. It's crazy because not only is it on there, but then people are like, yeah, I think, Monty, you want to see that. Let me send that to you. Like, I think somewhere in your day, you just want to see this happen.
I'm sorry. I don't have no value for it.
No. And it's, I don't know. I try to keep my social media feed, positive or at least neutral, right? Conversation based, food based for sure. But I don't know who thinks people want to see that. I don't watch the news anymore. I just happened to turn it on yesterday, and the first thing I saw was a visual of the effects of the monkeypox, and I'm like, this is exactly why. As I scrolled to the next thing, I'm like, this is exactly why I stopped watching this.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where we go next. Monkeypox. What is next? Remember at the beginning of the pandemic, every month it was something. Remember back, it was a simpler time. It was just killer bees. You know what I mean? It was a simpler time in the world where we were just worried about killer bees.
And the cicadas, those bugs.
Yeah. Now it's monkeypox.
I don't know. I could not tell you. I'm intentionally trying to tune out of many things because, with all that's going on right now, the last thing I need to worry about is monkeypox. The last. Speaking of monkeys, to transition to a whole other topic, I went to the movies for the first time in a really long time to see Jordan Peele's Nope. Have you seen that?
I want to see it. I've
Did you
heard
see it,
so
Mom?
many things. I've heard. I mean, it's been 50-50.
I'm just gonna put out one question. I hope it's not a spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen. Can somebody please explain the relevance of the monkey to me? I was so irritated at the end. Okay, we'll do it off air because I was so irritated at the end of the movie because I'm like, I don't know why you had me invest in that piece of the story because I just was,
So
I didn't get it.
was it a good movie? Okay.
I personally did not like it. To me, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It felt to me like what some of the later Wu-Tang albums felt like, where the only people that knew what the hell they was talking about was them. They was so far over everybody said that we always just like, So it's just like, okay, Get Out was dope. It was a mindfuck. It was, there were twists and turns. I saw that in the theaters. There was definitely in the theater all the gasps and people not tying pieces together. So I felt like he had that perfect mix of the suspense and the unknown and the reveal, but we got a cohesive story from start to finish. Then when we got to Us, I felt like we were like 80% into that. We still got a cohesive story, but many people walked away with questions looking for their own connections, right? Okay, I'll take that. By the time we got to this, I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm completely lost as to what this had to do with that, why that and not this. How did we get over here? I just left with questions and no connections.
But
And I
mean,
wanted
to
my 2
piggyback
hours
off
back.
of the Irv Gotti scenario, where he's using that content just to stay relevant, to spur a conversation. Is it Jordan Peele's? Is it his goal to just spur the conversation of what all these things mean symbolically? As a creator, he could have went back. He could have made Get Out 2.
Oh, God.
Right? But he makes Get Out 2. Where does he go?
True.
He gets pigeonholed. At least that's what I think. So each iteration, each movie, you have to try to push the envelope and go somewhere that you haven't gone before. That doesn't mean I understand what the fuck happened in Us at the end. I still don't know what happened. I have the same questions you have, but I think I appreciate his creative direction in the 2 movies I saw. I haven't seen Nope yet.
Okay. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love Jordan Peele. I love what he's doing. I love that he has, I read somewhere that Daniel Kaluuya is like his Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
I love that he's casting him and everything. Like, to me.
So there's Scorsese and De Niro?
Hey, I mean, that harkens back to the best black film director that ever did it, as far as I'm concerned. John Singleton.
For sure.
Who would repurpose. That's one of the things I love about John Singleton. Let me just get on my JS soapbox for a minute. That he would repurpose the same actors in almost every movie in a complete different capacity. So Tyra Farrell, original Black Girl Magic. Miss Jessie, We Do Heads. And she was Ricky and Doughboy's mother.
Absolutely, yeah, for
right?
Sure. Yep.
Completely reimagined Regina King's whole career because we knew her as Brenda from 227 until she popped up in Boys in the Hood. Isha in Poetic Justice
Chicago
is the best film
Brush
character
that
ever written.
Fade.
I love that character. And then again in Higher Learning. So, I love that he kept consistency, even Cube. But I love that he kept that consistency. So Jordan Peele, I like your movies. And I definitely like what I feel your movies, suggest to black filmmaking and the evolution of it all. But I was confused. Maybe I'm just a simpleton in the room, but I was confused. I left like, you brought me into that monkey a couple of times in that movie, and at the end I was like, crickets.
I definitely need to tap in.
Tap in and let me know what you think.
Will do.
Yes. Other than that, I ain't watching a whole lot. I told you I'm purposely avoiding TV that has anything to do with like real world shit.
Why is that?
Because I don't need no additional stressors.
Gotcha.
I don't need any. I'm watching. My TV watching consists of Judge Judy, anything on the Food Network, public broadcast television, and Netflix.
Okay.
That's it.
I've been off hella books, like hella reading as of late.
What you reading?
Right now I am reading. What am I reading? A bunch of Brandon books. The Referral Machine. I'm reading The Referral Machine. I always have a book about training in my hand. I got a couple books I just go back to. But yeah, I think just a bunch of Brandon stuff. Just trying to understand how to really cultivate the brand and push it and continue to add value.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where my head's been.
I'm not reading as much as I should be. I found out recently, I realized I don't enjoy reading for pleasure. I will read for necessity. I like an audiobook, but I don't want to sit with the actual book in my hand. But I love a good podcast. I am listening to podcasts almost 70% of the time at this point.
Okay.
Yes. Angie Martinez has a new podcast.
Angie Ma.
She's 3 episodes in. New York radio royalty.
Sure.
But her podcast is on some real grown woman shit.
Yeah. Is it like Angela Yee? Is she on there doing her Yee thing?
No. No, she's not. She interviewed so far Lauren London. She interviewed Mary J. Blige. I loved that interview because I just loved the space Mary was in. And then this last episode that just came out, she interviewed Tamika Mallory of
Okay.
Before Freedom.
She's taking it there.
She's taking it there, but I like that the conversations were not just focused around career, but they were really getting into the evolution of who these people are finding themselves to be as grown women. I think Lauren is in her, mid-30s. She's probably the youngest of the bunch. But Mary is in her 50s. Tamika Mallory's in her 40s. So I love the vibe of the conversation. So that podcast has been dope. Sweet Life. Shout out to Salvatore. Sal Fulmar. Sweet Life. He is... Is he shooting that podcast, filming that podcast? It looks really good. The guests are great, shooting and editing. That's the kind of male podcast conversation I want to hear. It's not no toxic mess. It's not no ego bravado. Like, it's men talking about shit that matters.
Okay, I'm going to have to check this one out.
Yes.
What was the name of it?
The Sweet Life. Sweet
The
as in
Sweet.
Suite.
Okay.
One of my favorites has a podcast out now. We haven't seen her in a minute because I think disrespectful people drove her to the outer fringes. Iyanla Vanzant.
Iyanla.
Fixing lives through her podcast.
I haven't heard that name in so long.
See? I hate that because I loved her show and I thought she was so great at what she was giving people visibility to. And, she said she just got tired of dealing with the public in that way is a lot. And you watch the show, and as it got later in seasons, people be cursing her out and going in. And I'm like, Miss Iyanla did not come all this way in her career and write all them books to get up here and have y'all disrespect her.
I haven't heard that name in so long. It's good to know that she's still out there.
Well, she's got a new podcast, The R Spot. And it's really good. She's talking about a lot of relationship stuff, and not just from the obvious perspective, but family relationships, relationship with yourself, all those things.
I need to check out a good podcast. I don't listen to too many. I mean, I'll do like audio books, but I don't really I'm not a listener of any podcast, really. I don't even know where to start.
What?
Yeah.
You incriminating yourself because
Man,
basically what
I
you're
be
saying
off
is
the
you're not
books.
listening to this podcast.
I don't listen to many, not just Kahj. I don't listen to many at all.
Okay. Well, start adding. And I remember the name. The Occasionally Accountable Podcast. Shout out Brit Nation. I mentioned her on the podcast before. Some of y'all probably know Brit from the Meet the Brave podcast, but she has, and also from Conversations with Nation, but she has a new podcast with her and a friend of hers. And I like that this podcast is really talking about how we can start to be accountable and action on a lot of the things in our life that we want to change.
That sounds like a really good one.
It is a good one.
Maybe that'll spur me to start listening to more podcasts.
You should. This podcast has homework. You know, you have like journal prompts and thought prompts that you go away with for the next week. So, yes, all the things.
I have to tap in with that one too.
Tap in with that one. You need to ask you to brought you here with a pen and paper.
Yeah,
you need
I should
a
have.
list.
I put it in my brain.
Things to listen to. But that's about it. This is a slow week. I'm glad this is not where we're closing the season. I'm going to give us a nice prepared episode.
Oh, yeah.
For next week. But it's been good to sit up here with you and get caught up.
I know. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Being that I am the unofficial co-host of As Told By, there will be many more episodes where I come in and give my musings. And we will be more how do we say, targeted with our conversations.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We will have a targeted conversation. Are you going to be like Ross Matthews?
A pointed conversation.
Look, you're going to be. Did you ever watch The Tonight Show?
Yeah, with Johnny Carson?
No, whatever the most recent. Who was the most recent iteration?
Is it Jay Leno? Who is it?
I can't remember. Chad.
David Letterman?
All these folk look the same. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. It's hard to keep track of who's who. That's what I meant to say. But Ross Matthews, he started off as Ross the intern, and he was just like the roving, reporter on the street that would do the, these off segments in between the actual interviews. So look, you queued up to be Ross.
I'm ready to go.
In Ross's place.
I'm ready to go. I'll be Ross.
Hey, we might do street interviews if we was on a different street. I don't know what we might get if we step downstairs today.
A whole lot going on outside.
Right.
For sure.
Yes, but thanks for coming up here and kicking it with me. I'm going to try to get some stress management tools, tactics, practices going the rest of this week so I can calm down. My idea of calming down yesterday was to go start making simple syrup and, compound butter.
There you go.
That's how I calmed myself down yesterday.
And then you put together some type of confectionery.
I can't be baking all the time now.
Man, what you make though?
Yesterday I didn't make anything baked, but I made things to go in other things.
Okay.
But like I told you, y'all know Anthony's my trainer. So, I cannot wow all the way out.
Yeah.
But
she talking about she just made the butter.
I'm
trying
to get off sugar as I sit here with this iced rose latte. I'm trying to get off sugar. It's hard.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's so hard. But I got off sugar a few weeks back because I had a COVID scare. I had been in an environment where people was cropping up, and I was nervous as hell because, number one, I did not want to have COVID. I have not, knock on wood, have not had it in this entire situation. And I didn't want to have it because I had a trip I was going on. I had like things coming up in the next few weeks. I got a pregnant person living in my home. So I'm just like, I ain't got time.
Can't do it.
So I started like drinking this concoction of turmeric and ginger and black pepper and cayenne pepper and honey. And I completely came off sugar and dairy and was like drinking enough water to drown for a whole 2 weeks because I was like, I need to get my immune system in pristine condition. Mm-hmm. And I felt so different.
Absolutely.
And I had that sugar out of my system. I was not eating like candy, cookies. I wasn't drinking any kind of sweetened coffee. I came off altogether, but that's hard to do on any kind of consistent basis for me.
Yeah, to stay consistent with it. I mean, it's funny though, when you do start to go into like those diets where you do restrict the sugars heavily, like you start to see how little sugar it takes to just cause headaches, inflammation. I'm very sensitive. I know exactly when I'm having too much sugar because it always happens in the same spot, my lower back. It's either my lower back or it's going to be my left ankle. And so I was talking to somebody else once and they're like, that hocus pocus. And I'm like, it's been pretty consistent. It's been pretty consistent. Anytime I'm eating too much sugar, my lower back becomes inflamed, and that's what sugar does. Sugar promotes inflammation.
Blow you up.
Yeah.
Blow you up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I need to find some kind of relaxation activity. Maybe I'll go do another flotation therapy. I did that in 2020. It was strangely amazing.
I like them. You
It
talking about the deprivation tanks?
Yeah, but I didn't get in that one where they close it up like a coffin.
Oh,
I
like
ain't
the
doing
pod.
that.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole vibe.
I did the one that it was almost just like being in a bathtub, even though it was walled off. But the one where they put you in there and they like close the lid over you, I was like, oh shit.
You like in an alien pod?
Right, exactly. I was just like, I don't think I can do that one, but I don't know. Maybe if I do that, is there Reiki? Something.
Mm-hmm.
I need something to rebalance my energy into
Nature.
calmness.
Nature. Go take a long walk.
A walk.
A long
It was 1,000 degrees yesterday.
I know a good trail, very shaded. Huckleberry Botanical Preserve.
Huckleberry?
Huckleberry Botanical Preserve.
Isn't that the one where you had your
That was the other one. We went to
the Trail of Tears with all the hills we went
the Trail of Tears.
I'm like, is that your idea of a relaxation?
I got one for you.
Okay.
I'll put you on.
I need it. Deep breath, a walk, get off sugar.
Shaded. You'll love it.
I can queue up a podcast. That's what I need. So hopefully by the time I get back to the next episode, hopefully there'll be a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I could get off baby watch. I think the excitement and the hype of being on call at all moments has me like wound up. So there'll be a baby. And I will have landed my work project. And I'll feel a little bit better. If I could get those two things grounded, I'll feel a little bit more. Whew.
Will the second event, the second curated experience, would that have happened already?
No.
Okay.
It's not. That's still in very early inception. And I'm not an event planner by trade. It's not easy planning an event.
Yeah, hell no.
Coordinating an event, I learned the first time around and second time around. You know, it's just not an easy thing to do. You're managing a lot of different pieces. And thankfully, I have the right people helping me to understand how this works. So
shout out to the team, whoever you are.
Shout out to the team, because the team is necessary.
For sure.
Because I flash. I'll be like, you know what? Just cancel it. I ain't doing
tables,
it. No.
Turn the shit over.
I'm like, I ain't doing it. It's not coming together. I'm not going to do it. But, you know, it's worth it. And when you get to the end and you have the outcome you want, you're always like, you know, I'm glad I stuck in there and worked it out. And I learned something new each time. There's learnings I'm going into this second iteration with that I did not have during the first one. So the journey.
The journey.
The journey.
I love the journey. I love the process. That's fun.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
If anybody's looking for a trainer, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at the CSC Gym on Instagram. You can also find me at 3405 High Street, Oakland, California, right next to the taqueria and the laundromat.
There we go.
Can't miss us.
Can't miss you. And if you want to find me, if you haven't already found me, if you're listening, you probably have. But if you haven't, you can find me on IG at Kahja versus Kahja. That's KAHJA_VS _KAHJA. Swing by my IG page and come get to know me a little bit better. This has been episode 6 of the As Told By podcast, but not the last episode. I know I've said this would be a 6-episode series, but I know we are definitely coming back with an episode 7. I could go up to as many as 10. Let's see what happens. But until then, peace.
Peace.